Right, I'm going to read Roald Dahl's short story, a wonderful story because it sounds wonderful, of Henry Sugar, which also sounds very wonderful. I hope that this is going to last a whole 5 minutes because I feel like with voice messages you can't do it for that long. Anyways. Henry Sugar was 41 years old and unmarried. He was also wealthy. He was wealthy because he had a rich father who is now dead. He was unmarried because he was too selfish to share any of his money with his wife. He was 6 feet 2 inches tall, and he wasn't really as good looking as he thought he was. He paid a great deal of attention to his clothes. He went to an expensive tailor for his suits, to a shirt maker for his shirt, and to a boots maker for his shoes. He used a costly aftershave on his face, and he kept his hands soft with cream that contained turtle oil. His hairdresser trimmed his hair once every 7 days, and he always took a manicure at the same time. His upper front teeth had been capped at an incredible expense because the originals had a rather nasty yellowishy tinge. A small mole had been removed from his left cheek by a plastic surgeon. He drove a Ferrari car, which must have cost him about the same as a country cottage. He lived in London in the summer, but soon as the first frosts appeared in autumn, he was off to the West Indies or the south of France, where he stayed with what time is it now? Friends. All of his friends were wealthy from inherited money. Henry had never had to do a day of work in his life, and this was his personal motto, which he had invented himself, which was, "It's better to incur a mild rebuke than to perform a onerous task." His friends thought it was hilarious. Okay, 3 more minutes. Men like Henry Sugar are found drifting like seaweed all over the world. They can be especially in London, New York, Paris, Nassau, Montego Bay, Cannes, and St. Tropez. They are not particularly bad men, but they are not particularly good men either. They are of no real importance, they are simply part of the decoration. All of them, all wealthy people of this type, have one peculiarity in common. They have the terrific urge to make themselves wealthier than they already are. The million is never enough, nor the 2 million. Always, they have this insatiable longing to get more money. And that is because they live in constant terror of waking up one morning and finding there is nothing in the bank. These people all enjoy the same methods for trying to increase their fortunes. They buy stocks and shares. They watch them going up and down. They play roulette and blackjack for high stakes in casinos. They bet on horses. They bet on just about anything. Henry Sugar once staked £1,000 on the result of a tortoise race on Lord Liverpool's tennis lawn, and had wagering doubled that sum with a man called Esmond Hanbury on a sillier bet, which as follows. They let Henry's dog out into the garden, and they watched it through the window. But before the dog was let out, each man had to guess beforehand what would be the first object the dog would lift its leg against. Would it be a wall, a post, a bush, or a tree? Esmond chose the wall. Henry, who had always been studying this dog habits for days with a view of making this particular bet, chose a tree. He won the money. With a wait, do I have to laugh also? With a ridiculous game such as these, did Henry and his friends try to conquer the deadly boredom of being both idle and wealthy. Henry himself, as you may have noticed, was not above cheating a little with his friends if he saw the chance. The bet with the dog was definitely not honest, nor, if you want to know, was the bet with the tortoise race. Henry cheated on that by secretly forcing a little sleeping pill powder into the mouth of his opponent's tortoise an hour before the race. And now that you've got the rough idea of what sort of person Henry Sugar was, I can begin my story. One summer's weekend, Henry drove down from London to Guildford to stay with Sir William Wyndham. The house was magnificent, and so were the grounds. But when Henry arrived on the Saturday afternoon, it was already pelting with rain. Tennis was out, crochet was out, so was swimming in Sir William's outdoor pool. The host and his guests sat glumly in the drawing rooms, staring at the rain splashing down the windows. It's exactly 40 past and it's exactly 5 minutes, so I will see me as an AI in the future.